What's that? A new plugin that claims to tame harshness? Palebluedot has heard the call and shall respond. Today we'll look at Wavegrove Vastaus versus Soothe 2, the champion of taming harshness in mixes. But first, please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments below if you think this is an essential plugin. And head over to palebluedot.ca for freebies and audio information. Let's try this out on my old, awful mix from the 90s that I used in a previous video. Ugh, my ears. I'm sure you can clearly hear a lot of harshness in the mids and high mids. Not a balanced mix at all. I probably just ran the whole thing through the original version of T-Rax. Anyway, let's insert Vastaus. Whoa, okay, that's aggressive right out of the box. The interface is a little different than expected too. It looks more like a hardware emulation than a spectral correction device, but that's no matter. Let's zero some of these parameters. I hate it when a correction plugin loads up with a randomly active preset. And this has an input gain, and I'm not totally sure why you'd need to drive a frequency taming plugin. Even with oversampling, which this has, why would you want to add harmonic content to a corrected signal? Ugh, that does not sound good. Odd choice. I'm going to leave this at 0. Okay, so even with tame at 0, it's heavily rolling off the highs, like at obscene levels. I would prefer that 0 be closer to 0 effect than what sounds like 50% on. Speaking of, there's a wet-dry knob as well. Again, not sure why this wouldn't be at 100% by default, but I suppose it speaks to the developer's intended use. Okay, this is weird. If I pull this to 100%, the highs come back in. Bring it back to 50%, the highs disappear. But if I leave it at 0, the highs come back in from the original signal. I would have expected 100% to have the more drastic sound, the more processed sound. It raises my eyebrows a bit that the highs go missing when it's blended in. Makes me suspect phase issues. Okay, and so there's a bias knob as well. According to Wavegrove, this limits the effect to either the positive or negative side of the audio samples. Which, I'm not totally sure what they're meaning here. Turning it clockwise or counterclockwise at 100% wet seems to brighten the signal. They infer it's like an exciter, so maybe it adds some odd or even harmonics. Maybe that's what they're trying to say. At any rate, it does bring back some highs, but I guess these are artificial highs? There's a delta button here too, so you can hear the difference between what's being processed. Let's hear what it's doing to the signal. I mean, call me crazy, but this sounds like a broadband high-pass filter to me. I found the best that I can make this sound was by kind of balancing the tame and the wet knobs. But look, at the end of the day, here's how you can make your own harshness suppressor. Insert an equalizer, any will do. Add a high-cut filter. Done. Now let's compare it to Soothe 2. Insert Soothe 2. Adjust the depth. Done. A much more natural harshness correction, I think. Mind you, I know, Vastaus is free, and Soothe 2 is like $5 million. I just wanted to compare it to something that actually does frequency de-harshing. Hell, if I was going for free, I'd rather use something like Analog Obsession's Real-Life plugin. A cool little freebie that gives your audio a sweet hi-fi quality to it. Or grab your DAW's free multiband compressor and compress some of the harshness yourself. Easy. On the affordable end, there's always Smooth Operator, and while Rezo is not my favorite resonance suppressor, it gets the job done. Check out my reviews in the links below. So it's nice to have another de-harshness plugin on the market, but this one just isn't for me. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and head over to palebluedot.ca and sign up for my newsletter and get some nice freebies. Until next time, mix well.